I'd like to welcome everyone to the July 31st, 2017 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. If everyone please join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. I'm Jeff Benton, President of the Board. To my left is Vice President Gary Merrill. To my right is fellow Commissioner Barb Lewis and our County Administrator Farzan Ahmed. And Jennifer Walraven is the clerk today, so we'll go ahead and start.
Resolution number 17-788, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held July 27, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-788. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment or elected official comment today, so that brings us to item number 4. Resolution number 17-789, in the matter of approving purchase orders and announced certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0728 and procurement card payments in batch number 0728.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-789. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-790, in the matter of accepting and approving the Delaware County Sheriff's Office Transfer Report for the month of June 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-790. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-791, in the matter of awarding a bid and approving a contract to Underground Utilities Incorporated for the construction of the Liberty Sawmill sanitary sewer extension improvements.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Tiffany Mag with the Regional Sewer District. This project is for the Liberty Sawmill Sewer Extension that's going to go all the way over to Sawmill Parkway. We received 7 bids for this project, and it was $2.5 million below the engineer's estimate was the final bid, which was for $3.5 million to complete this project.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. The bids came in great.
Yeah, the cost effectiveness of the bidding. Great. All right, we'll take a vote.
Vote on motion 17-791. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-792, in the matter of approving the sanitary sewer improvement plans for Village at Olentangy Crossing Phase 5.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
This project has met all of our standard requirements. It's located on the northeast side of 23 and Lewis Center Road. It's 24 multifamily homes there.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-792. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-793, in the matter of certification of delinquent accounts to the county auditor for accounts to be assessed to payable year 2018 taxes.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
The amount that we're certifying is very similar to what we've seen the last couple quarters, so we're recommending your approval for that.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-793. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-794, in the matter of approving a recommendation by the Delaware County Local Emergency Planning Committee to approve the appointment of representatives.
So moved. Second.
Discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Sean Miller, Director, Delaware County Emergency Management. Before you for your consideration is a resolution for the nominations of new members for the Local Emergency Planning Committee, or LEPC. And this is not something new by any means. These came into effect in the late 80s, early 90s, and were a direct result of the Bhopal, India chemical release, which killed and injured thousands of people in the United States. We took note of that and really put this system into place. And the primary function of the LEPC is to plan for hazardous materials incidents, report certain incidents of various quantities of a release, as well as a right-to-know component for the community, what chemicals are present in the community, as well as what spills have occurred, so things of that nature. And this resolution specifically is for these nominations to go forward to the state of Ohio and the body that oversees the LAPCs at the local level is the CERC, or State Emergency Response Commission. And Ohio EPA, Ohio EMA, others are members of that body. But that organization will do the actual appointments based off of the recommendations from the counties. And I believe we have a good list of representatives, various areas, from public safety to residents to industry, and that is a very important component to this list, because having industry involved really improves the planning efforts as well as the public safety exercise efforts for hazardous materials incidents. And so with that, I'd be happy to entertain any questions you may have.
These are 2-year terms?
Yes, sir. So it'll be August of 17 to August of 19.
Okay. Is there much turnover in this group?
Some from time to time. We've had a few folks, over the years, not necessarily leave LAPC specifically, but just turnovers in roles and things of that nature.
Okay. How often do they meet?
That's just what I was going to ask, and I'm on it, so. How often do
Yeah.
We meet quarterly.
One on the list.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Quarterly. Quarterly? Yes, sir.
Okay. Who actually develops the plan that they review then?
It's a little bit different in each county, but in Delaware County, the LAPC contracts with emergency management to compile the plan, and every year in mid-October, that plan is due to the CERC, State Emergency Response Commission. They will then review the plan, make sure that it meets minimum criteria, and then we'll concur with the plan if it does.
Okay. And we've had good track record?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Sean. All right, vote.
Vote on motion 17-794. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, Sean.
Resolution number 17-795, in the matter of amending the Child Placement Services contract between the Delaware County Department of Job and Family Services, the Delaware County Board of Commissioners, and New Beginnings Residential Treatment Center, LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. David Dombrowski with Job and Family Services. This is a standard child welfare placement contract. We had, because of the volatility in the number of kids and their placements, we increased this incrementally based on the needs of the child. So right now we have 3 kids placed at New Beginnings. So we anticipate expending $336,000 total before the end of the year. So we're asking for your permission to increase the contract.
Okay. This is a big increase. I mean, this is a very expensive contract for the number of youths that are involved in this. Are there alternatives available?
So these are what we refer to as our deeper end kids. They're the higher need kids. So these are kids who are in need of residential treatment. And this is a residential treatment provider who is pretty well known for their intensive therapy services, which at least 2 of the 3 kids who are placed there are receiving, and that's why it's such a high-cost placement. So there are no other alternatives right now for these 3 kids.
Okay. All right, vote.
Vote on motion 17-795. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Resolution number 17-796, in the matter of accepting and approving the recommendation of the Union County Commissioner for maintenance assessments of 50% for the Ottawa Run Joint County Ditch.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rob Riley, Chief Deputy Engineer. We have received a recommendation from the Union County Board of Commissioners and the Union County Engineer for the Ottawa Run Joint County Ditch. This is jointly maintained by, I should say it's maintained by Union County, but it is a joint county ditch. They have proposed a 50% maintenance assessment. This is an older ditch, so the construction base is very low, which is why the percentage is so high compared to our traditional 2 to 3% collection rate. So we are recommending the 50% increase, or excuse me, the 50% maintenance assessment rate as recommended by Union County.
What was it previously?
I don't have the previous assessment, but again, I know this is an older ditch. Brett, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Good morning, Brett Bacon, Delaware Soil and Water Conservation District. We don't track the history and the costs and the income for the projects that are maintained by the other counties like we do ours. I don't know what the previous assessment was. It would be something I could find out for you, but I don't have that information today.
It says 50%, which is really meaningless by itself. Is that 50% of a dollar is a lot different than 50% of
Right.
$100,000. So can somebody put it in dollars and cents, what we're talking about?
And we'd have to get that information. I don't know that we'd have the actual schedule of assessments.
Yeah, I'm not aware of what the original base of the project was. Given the timeline when that project was constructed, it would be very similar to the base I would think we see on our projects that were done in the 50s and 60s, where we may have a $10,000 to $15,000 base on a project that today would be upwards of $60,000 or $70,000. That's just a guess, but I think that's probably what we're looking at.
Well, I would suggest we defer this till Thursday to get some, I hate to vote on something when I don't know what 50% of what is.
Yeah. And so I would agree. I would also concur with that we just postpone until Thursday until we get some more details. I'd also like to know why Delaware County is assessed 50%, but apparently we're less than 50% of the land covered by this ditch petition, is what I think I read.
Yeah, go ahead.
The 50% is when the board sets a percentage collection on our projects. We're setting the percentage that the project is collecting of the original base value. So each parcel is being collected at 50% of the base. I don't think we're not being asked to pay 50% of the maintenance assessments for the entire project. It's just that they're setting the per parcel collection at 50% of that parcel's original base value.
I'm sure I'll be supportive Thursday. I just like to know what I'm voting on.
I can certainly make a call to Union County and get that information. The information that you're looking for, I can certainly find out for you.
We could table it. We could just, I could withdraw my motion and you withdraw your second, and then they can resubmit it on Thursday.
That's fine.
Withdraw.
Okay. We'll withdraw the motion, then we'll get the additional information, and we'll talk about it on Thursday. Very good. Thanks, guys. Okay, next.
I will reuse that number, resolution number 17-796, in the matter of authorizing amendments to the use of a procurement card for the engineer's office.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
We are asking for your approval to revise the procurement card limit for Leslie Adams. Leslie handles our office supply purchasing as well as our conference registrations for our office. I know frequently she runs into the daily limit for her card as she does conference registrations for several employees at once, and so she's kind of working around that now, which is a little bit inefficient, so asking for a small increase here.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-796. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Ms. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-797, in the matter of establishing the maintenance account, approving maintenance easements, and certifying the drainage maintenance assessment collection percentage for 2018 for the Winding Creek Estates Section 4 Drainage Improvement Project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
This resolution would establish the drainage maintenance account and approve the maintenance easements and certify collections for the recently completed Winding Creek drainage improvements. Brett, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Just the project has been completed according to the plans, has been inspected by the Soil Water Conservation District and our drainage maintenance staff, and is ready to be placed onto the drainage maintenance program.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-797. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-798, in the matter of approving ditch maintenance petitions and the ditch maintenance assessments for Olentangy Falls, Section 4A, Olentangy Falls, Section 5, and the Woods at Dornoch, Section 5.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
This is our standard drainage, expedited development drainage petition for two subdivisions, a total of 26 lots in Olentangy Falls and 40 lots in the Woods of Dornoch, and we are recommending approval of these petitions.
I have a question here. I live in Dornoch. Is there any problem me voting on this, or being the second?
This is the woods of Dornoch.
Yeah,
I
but it's
understand it.
same neighborhood, same sewer
Same,
system.
yeah.
If you have any doubt, you can just freeze yourself.
Well, I second it, so should I pull that back as well? Okay. So I pull back my second, so
Yeah, so I will second the motion.
I'm assuming this isn't a controversial matter, so
I don't think so, but in that case, I probably would, but I just want to make sure.
All right, so that motion number 17798 has now been motioned by Commissioner Lewis and seconded by Commissioner Benton. And do we have any other questions, or?
Any other discussion or questions? All right, we'll take a vote then.
Vote on motion 17-798. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
And Mr. Merrill is
Abstain.
abstaining. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-799, in the matter of approving the project grant agreement between the Ohio Public Works Commission and the Board of Commissioners of Delaware County for the project known as Del TR 149 2.57 Klondike Road Emergency Bridge Replacement, and authorizing Commissioner Jeff Benton to execute said agreement along with approving disbursements made as a result of this agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
This is the actual grant agreement providing $297,000 toward this project. As you may recall, this is currently under construction. We have completion scheduled for the end of August, and recommend approval of this agreement.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-799. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-800, in the matter of declaring county personal property obsolete, unfit, or not needed for public use.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
We are doing some house cleaning here. As you can see, we have some old vehicles and equipment which we are wanting to dispose of. We have no immediate plans to replace any of this equipment. We have made some replacements already, but nothing further on that list. So the only noteworthy thing I would say is there's a Ford TN70 tractor that we have agreed to provide to sell to the Delaware County Fair Board for $2,000.
So how do you go about selling these units?
The units that are of higher value we'll put out for auction. There are some on there that are very low value, within a couple $100 that I think we're going to sell, or basically for scrap. So, but there are some that will fetch some good money.
Is this strictly engineer equipment, county
Yes.
engineers equipment?
It is.
And we do attempt to get market value, whatever market value is for the items.
Yes, we do.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-800. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-801, in the matter of approving a contract of sale and purchase between Westerville City School District Board of Education and the Delaware County Board of Commissioners for the project known as Del CR 24-0.07.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
I believe I've briefed you on this purchase. We have reached agreement with the Westerville City Schools to purchase additional right-of-way for our South Old 3C improvements, and we recommend approval.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-801. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-802, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
We received 3 permit applications this round. We've reviewed the associated plans and recommend approval.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 17-802. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-803, in the matter of approving a professional services contract with Gannett Fleming Engineering and Architects, P.C., for the project known as Del CR 124-1.45, Home Road and State Route 745.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
We are proposing to contract with Gannett Fleming Architects and Engineers for a new project to improve the intersection at Dublin Road and Home Road, 745 and Home Road. This is a 4-way stop intersection currently. Quite a bit of traffic backs up here on a daily basis. And so we have gone about selecting Gannett Fleming through a qualifications-based selection process and negotiated a fee to perform that design work. This would take the project all the way from preliminary engineering through final design. So I would not anticipate having to come back to you for any modifications. We have a pretty good idea what needs designed here, so we went ahead and scoped this contract all the way through final plans.
I know the trustees in Concord have mentioned this project. Are they involved in are they aware of what's going on?
They are. I actually discussed this project with them as recently as Friday. We don't yet have a exact construction schedule on this. I would not anticipate any time before 2020. It will take a few years to get through design and coordination with ODOT as well as the land purchase.
They're on board with the direction you're heading?
I think so. They would, what they indicated to me is they'd like to have it tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I knew they had an interest in that area, but I didn't know if we both heading in the same direction, for I was asking.
How do you think that the intersection is going to be redone? Is it going to be a roundabout, just traffic light, lanes?
Yes. We do anticipate a roundabout at that location. We did some preliminary study on this intersection, and the roundabout actually does appear to work the best for that intersection. There is, if you can picture that intersection, you've got kind of the bait store market.
On the south, would you?
Correct. So we do have room, and the township has expressed willingness to donate some of the necessary land for the park, and then we'll have to work with the city of Columbus on the other corner.
Okay.
I think it's the reason I was asking, make sure they're on board because of right-of-way.
Yep.
Concerns. If they're on board, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, that would be good. You got a lot of projects in the works, but this would be a good one.
Yes.
All right, vote.
Vote on motion 17-803. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 17-804, in the matter of approving a professional services contract with O.R. Cole and Associates LLC for a project known as Del CR 14-1.23 East Powell Road, Phase 2 right-of-way acquisition.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
We have gone through a qualifications-based selection process to select O.R. Cullen and Associates. This is for the East Powell Road Phase 2 project, which runs from Old State Road to Bale Canyon. I'm sure you know we just finished up Phase 1 earlier this year. Phase 2 would extend that work west all the way to Old State Road, widening that road to a 3-lane section, much like what we just completed, and install 3 new traffic signals on that section. So O.R. Cullen would be performing assisting us with the right-of-way acquisition work. There are, I forgot to grab the amount. I know it's over 100 parcels, so this is a huge right-of-way acquisition job. So we are very comfortable with O.R. Cullen. They're a big reputable firm, and we've worked with them in the past, so we are recommending approval.
What kind of timeline on this one, Rob?
This will go at least for the next year in right-of-way acquisition. We are planning on construction starting in 2019, summer of 19, and of course that's pending utility relocation and completion of the land purchase.
Okay. All right, vote.
Vote on motion 17-804. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you.
Just, Rob, one question that I thought of before you leave. Since you mentioned Bale Canyon, when is that open yet?
Lewis Center and Bale Canyon?
Yeah, well, then I'm thinking Big Walnut. Big Walnut.
Over to Big Walnut?
Yeah, I guess it is called Lewis Center at that point.
Yes.
And yes.
Well, yes. Well, we've got the 2 projects there. The one right below the dam, Lewis Center at Bale Canyon, which is the roundabout and bridge reconstruction. Working on getting the final date, but it should be about 2 to 3 weeks out from now for the opening of that.
Okay.
We'll have a date, I hope, by the end of this week, whether it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I don't know, but and that will reopen the intersection. Bale Canyon, though, will have to close after that because there are 2 bridges on Bale Canyon, But you'll be
Okay.
able to get east and west along Lewis Center Road below the dam once
Okay.
that roundabout and bridge right
Okay.
below the dam is open. And then Big Walnut at Worthington Road, the other project in that area, we are unfortunately experiencing quite a bit of utility delay on that project, which is very frustrating because we thought we had coordinated all this stuff a year ago. Delco Water and the gas and power company were notified a year ago, and for the most part, the water was out of the way in advance, but we still have some utility problems with telecommunications and power. So working on that as much as we can, but I think we'll be able to recover schedule on that. We've lost at least a week or so of work on that, but as I think I've explained before, basically once the north and east legs of that intersection are done, it will switch to the south and west legs. So you'll be able to make a 90-degree turn on the newly completed legs. So once those are done, then switch to the other side. So
Okay, thank you.
sure.
Great.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Rob.
That brings us to administrator reports.
Thank you. Good morning. The Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services has completed the audit of Delaware County Jobs and Family Services, and audit reported no administrative findings and no uncorrected previous year findings and no management letter recommendations. So the audit went very well for our agency, so good job for the agency. I also want to point out that when you as the board approved the resolution for us to have a more structured budget plan, that plan included an annual business plan that a lot of people are going to be working on. We haven't received any yet, but we have received a lot of good questions from a lot of people on how to do it. So I'm very encouraged by the participation of everyone, and I'm looking forward to working with them and presenting those plans to you as they come in. As part of that structure, when I guess I and the assistant administrators come to you with our structure, one of the things I'll be proposing to you is that we change the designation of our department known as Fiscal Service to Office of Management and Budget. In counties where budgets are the way we want ours to be, with analytics and with trends, those offices are more management and budget. It's way beyond fiscal services. Fiscal services can be, well, let's get all the numbers together and figure out what's coming in, what's going out. And I think what we are wanting to do is a little bit beyond that and actually get into analytics and getting into trends and getting into, just going a little bit more in depth into how our budget should be done. So I think that we will be proposing that as well.
Sure.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Just wanted to give you a heads up.
Yes.
More to come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Merrill?
I have a couple of things. As some of you may know, Willis Education Center is going to be used by United Way for a number of buildings, and Commissioner Lewis serves on the board, so I know she knows a lot of this. There was a breakfast this morning for former board members, which I attended and received a brief tour. And they also have the ribbon cutting this afternoon
Yes,
at
I'm going at
1:15.
noon.
And
For
the
lunch and then- Are you gonna
They
come
included me too.
All right.
So,
Oh, they did.
yeah.
Oh,
So I'll be at the lunch as well.
Good.
But
I
it
was
was,
just going to mention that. I'm glad you're...
well, I apologize. You were
Yeah,
board member.
no, that's
So
fine. No,
It's
go
his
ahead.
fault he went to me first.
Yeah, that's just fine.
And the other thing I have, and you may want to, I'll stop there and you can add anything you want to add, but it was, I know that's to serve the needy families in our area, and it's kind of a new concept. The other thing I want to read is a letter, and I wish Brad had stayed because it has to do with soil and water. Luke Thack, who used to be the editor at the Columbus Dispatch, and I don't know, Jane, you may know him or know of him, but before your time, sent me a letter, an email actually, last Friday, and it was regarding the night before. Gary, I attended a seminar last night on ponds put on by the Delaware Soil and Water Conservation District. I presume you provide some, if not all, funding for them. They did a great job of answering questions for condominium associations with ponds on their properties. If I remember correctly, this guy who conducted it was Milt, he said Lent, but don't live. So next time you call it, don't live.
Yeah.
And the 2-hour presentation was just perfect for our purposes. I'm not ever sure proper credit gets to the guys in the trenches, but he and his staff and the program they presented were really, really good. And I just want to pass that on, and I'll send this email on over to Soil and Water. And I think I have a lot. Soil and Water really does a great job for this county. Working with them on the ditch petitions and professionalism they bring to the table is, I think, unparalleled. I can't compare it to every other county, but it's hard for me to imagine anyone does it better than we do it. And so I just thought it was an opportunity to read a letter of congratulations and acknowledging job well done. So that's all I have.
Great. Yes, they do a good job. Okay. Commissioner Lewis?
Went to Delaware County Regional Planning last Thursday night. Everything was normal, and there wasn't anything. There weren't that many big items on the agenda, but no news to report. They told me they need a new bulb for their projector, so they asked me if I'd work on that. So I'll work on that. Yeah, I'm not sure where they get their projector, and they didn't know either.
Is this the Board of Elections projector?
They mentioned the Board of Elections.
Well, I've seen they're using theirs.
Yeah, they were in the big conference room. Is that the Board of Elections?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll find out anyway.
So,
It was kind of funny because I noticed that, I thought, gosh, you really couldn't see things that clearly on the projector, or from the projector to the screen, and I'm going, gee, maybe the lights aren't out and that's it. But then they said, no, we put our request in. So I said, okay, I'll check on that. Anyway, yeah, everything was fine, other than the bulb.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. We have crisis management.
Yeah, right. Nothing else.
Okay. Just a couple of things. The Ironman was yesterday in Delaware City. Well, actually in the county too, and that went very well, it sounds like. I was not there, but good participation and a good event. So, again, nice for Delaware to host that again the second year in a row. We do have a reception from 11 to 1 for Patty Freeman across the way. Sheriff's Office fiscal manager. Not sure exactly what her title is, for 40-plus years.
Wow.
So, congratulations to Patty on her retirement. And that's it. We have need for executive session.
We do have a need for executive session today. Resolution number 17-805, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of appointment, employment, discipline, and compensation of a public employee or public official.
so moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 17-805. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye. We are in executive session.